Hello everybody, it's Jeff with AZ Camera Reviews, and I know it's been a long time since I've posted a review and we've had a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm sorry, but I'm back. I'm here to talk about the Bestview S7 Mark II, and it took me a while to make the decision to buy this particular monitor, and I'd like to give a shout out to Homer Yang, who's a sales representative for Bestview. It took me a while, like I said, to make the decision to buy this monitor, and I had asked him a lot of questions, and I want to thank him very, very much for his patience, because I can be kind of a pain sometimes. Anyway, let's talk about this monitor and the reasons why I like it and the reason why I think you should buy it. Now, as always, I'm giving you my opinion. I didn't buy it on Amazon like I normally buy things because I found a better price somewhere else, believe it or not. But as a service, I'm posting this so that you people can get the information and help make a good buying decision. So let's look inside the box. Enough with the BS, right? So anyway, you open the box up, and inside you get a manual that's printed in a couple of colors, it looks like. It's red and black. It's an okay manual. It's not heavily in depth. It's, like I said, multicolor, and it's got a couple of color photos in there. It goes up to here, and then it's written in Chinese. So half the book is in English, the other half is in Chinese. And let's take a peek under the foam, see what we've got. Well, the first thing that I see here is a velvet bag to carry your Bestview monitor in, which is nice, and it'll protect your Bestview monitor. But I would probably say get yourself some sort of a hard case so you can really, really protect it. Then you've got your beauteous Bestview monitor. And you've got a couple of presets on here, which is F1, F2, F3, and you can toggle your source. And then you've got your menu button and your scrolling to go into your various parts of your menu, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Now, one thing that I've noticed on some other monitors that I've owned is when you have the power hooked up to it, or you have a battery on the back, what happens is the little light on the front stays on all the time and it can drain your battery. Well, Bestview went one better. What they did was they put an additional switch on the back of the monitor so that you can totally disengage power, which I think is an absolute great idea. Then inside the box, they give you a plate, which is good for the Sony NP style batteries, and that guy just goes right on the back. It slides in and on, and you're done. And that'll, like I say, support the NP F970 and the 750, and they make a couple of smaller batteries too. And it will also support the Canon batteries, but you have to buy a separate plate for the Canon batteries. And I believe they also make some so that you can use either AA or AAA batteries, and they'll slide on the back just the same as this did. Now, one of the things that was the big seller for me on this monitor was the fact that it has loop-throughs, okay? So it's got an HDMI in and it's got an HDMI out. So it allows you to run the input into the back of this monitor from your camera, and then you can come out and you can run it either to a wireless transmitter, or you can run another HDMI cable to another larger monitor so that your client can watch what you're doing while you're actually operating, and you don't have your client standing over your shoulder looking at your 7-inch monitor. The other thing that is totally awesome for ENG camera guys, people like myself, production people, is the fact that it also has an SDI in and an SDI out. So you can also loop through the SDI inputs and outputs on this monitor. It also has a headphone out, but it does have speakers built in, so you can monitor that way, or you can plug in a set of headphones, which is nice. This is the headphone input right here. And it also has a USB input, which is the USB Mini, but I have not read or found out exactly what that does. It may be for firmware update, it may be for power. I'm just not sure what it does. And the other thing that I really like about this monitor is it's got a multitude of mounting capabilities. And the reason I say that is it's got a 1/4-20 stud on this hole, on this side. It's got another 1/4-20 on the other side, and it also has a 1/4-20 on the bottom. So you can hang it off your monitor, you can put it this way, you can come off the top of your camera, whatever you want to do. So getting into mounting, let me tell you something else that it comes with. It comes with a cold shoe, which is a really nice thing. It's got a swivel, and it'll allow you to either mount it in the shoe on your camera or your tripod or whatever. And it's got this movable piece, so you can mount it sideways. You can mount it on the side of your camera onto something, or you can mount it on the bottom of the camera, which is really great. And it just locks by turning this little knob. Nice little dealio. And you can also unscrew this, and you can put this little screw on the bottom, and it comes with a little wrench, so if you want to screw it onto something, you can do that also. Hey, sky's the limit, right? Then it comes with a power tap cord, so you can run it off the side of your battery, which is really nice, and plug it directly into the monitor, because the monitor does take a DC plug, or you can buy the optional DC power supply for it. It comes with a cleaning cloth for the screen. Now, we can't live without that, right? And it also comes with an HDMI cable, which I unfortunately can't use because my Sony camera doesn't use this style HDMI. So I'm sure I can find some sort of use for this cable. And it also comes with a shade for the actual monitor. And the shade basically pops on pretty simply. I guess just like this. You have to line it up. Okay, snap it on. Takes a little bit, it looks like it takes a little bit to put this on. Okay, there it is. It's on. Nope. There we go. It's snapped on there. And then it also comes with the hood. And it's got some nice Velcro across the top. And then it's got a black velvet on the inside to cut down on reflection. And basically what you do is you just push that in there, like so. And you've got your monitor hood. So now let's hook it up to my camera. Like I said, this is a 4K capable monitor, and it's 1920 by 1200. It's got HDMI in, HDMI out. It's got SDI in, SDI out, which is 3G. And it's a great little monitor. Let's also check what the latency is, because in the past, I've had people ask me, well, what's the latency like on this monitor? So we'll just kind of pan the camera back and forth first, and we'll see what it's like. So let's go check it out. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the features of the Bestview S7 Mark II monitor. First thing we'll do is we'll turn it on. And I'm feeding the monitor presently with a 4K signal from my Sony camera. And I'm running everything in the halfway position. So the first thing I'm going to explain is to get to any area on this monitor, you have to hit your menu button. Now, to scroll through your various menus, you'll use the up-down keys like so. And that's exit. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Assistant, and we're going to scroll over one. And then when you scroll over another one, it'll let you go in. And as you can see, it says monochrome is off. If you hit it again, it'll put it into gray. If you hit it again, it'll go into red. If you hit it again, it'll go into green. If you hit it again, it'll go into blue. And if you hit it again, it'll go into off. Now, anytime you want to go back, what you do is you just hit your back button or your menu button and then scroll down to the next. Okay, so now we're in false color. If you push your button that's pointing to the right, you'll go into the on-off mode, and there you go, that's the on mode, that's the off mode. Then what we'll do is we'll go back by hitting the menu button. We'll go down to our next. This is your peak, so we're going to push the right arrow, go to off. There you are in low peak, there you are in high peak, and there you are in off. Let's go back to our menu. Now let's go to peak color. Now this will show you where your best focus is, and with this you've got your peak color is red as it stands right now. You can change your peak color by hitting this to green, blue, red. Okay, hit your menu button, go to your zebra mode, hit your down button, go into your zebra by hitting your right button. Your zebra is off. There your zebra is set for 70 IRE, 100 IRE, and off. Menu back. Histogram, which is down here in the bottom. Okay, if you go down, you go into your histogram by hitting the right. That's on, that's off, back on again. I like to have the histogram running. Let's go back on our menu, go down to the next slot. There's your volume bar, and that'll either display the volume bar on or off. Go in, that's off, that's on. You see the volume coming on and off right now. Let's go back to menu. Let's go to the camera mode. Okay, and right now it's in the off position, and let's click the right button, and there you go, your screen went off. And now we come back, and now it's back. Okay, so now you can go one of two ways. You can go back here to return. Okay, and go back to return and hit that. Now you can go to return. You can hit your menu button if you want, and you can go to your next place on the menu, which is make. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit our right, and now you've got your camera marker. Okay, now the camera marker is on. Now the camera marker is off. Now the camera marker for center is back on again. Now we'll hit our menu, and we'll go to our safe borders. Okay, hit the down button, go to your right. Now the safe border is on, or off rather. There's your safe border on at 80%, 85%, 90%, 93%, 96%, and off. Okay, let's go back, hit the menu button, and go back to the make ratio. So we'll go down 1. Let's go on over. There it is. It's off right now. And there's 4:3. There's 2.35 by 1, 1.85 to 1, and off. Okay, let's go to our next make color. Let's go down 1 and go over, and that's white right now. There's black. There's a red one. There's a green. There's blue, which you can't see so well. And there's white. We'll go back by hitting our menu button. And now we're going to go into the transparency of this actual area of these menus that come up. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to that. And we'll arrow over. And there's transparency off. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's off. Okay. And now we're going to hit our menu button again. And let's go into image. Now there's a lot of different things here in image that you can adjust. So let's go over and let's check them out. So right now we're set by 16.9, 16:9 aspect ratio. Okay, let's change it. That's 4:3 aspect ratio. That's 1.85 to 1. And this, the way this is differing is the last time we were using these ratios, it was basically showing the cutoffs with white lines or red lines or whatever color you want of what the aspect ratio was if you wanted to protect for it. This is actually putting it in that aspect ratio. Okay, so that's 1.85 to 1. That's 2.35 to 1. That's in auto. That's 16:10. And the way I usually run it is 16:9. Okay, so now let's menu back. And let's go to the scan mode. Okay, and let's go down to scan mode and over. This is under scanning. This is over scanning. And we're back at under scan. Let's hit our menu button back. And this is picture to picture, or pixel to pixel, excuse me. So let's go down to pixel and menu over. This is with it off. That's with it on. And that's with it off. Let's go back to on so you can see basically what it does is it pushes in a little bit. So you can also check your focus if you like. Okay, let's go back now and let's go into zoom. Okay, menu over. There's off. There's 1.4 times zoom. There's 2 times zoom. There's 4 times zoom. There's 8 times zoom. There's 10 times zoom. And there's off. And all those different positions will help you in focusing. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to back out of this. Now, these are pretty self-explanatory. This is going to flip horizontal and flip vertical. So right now we're going to go into flip horizontal. So if you want to look at the picture backwards, you just hit this button, and that's the regular way, and that's the flipped way. Now let's say, for instance, okay, we're going to back out of this. Now let's say you're going to hang the monitor upside down from the 1/4 screw that's in the bottom here. What you would do is you would go into flip vertical and you'd menu over, you'd hang the monitor upside down, and then what you would do is it would just flip your picture upside down, so then that way you would run it this way. because you had it screwed in and flipped the other way. So let's put it back the way it is. The next one here, we're going to back out of this, and we're going to go into freeze. Okay, and freeze is basically just going to be a freeze frame on this. So I'll just go over there, but it's not going to make a big difference because there's not a lot of stuff going on right now. So we'll hit freeze, and that's on. And you can see those golf carts that are there. When I come back, they will probably have moved a couple of inches. There you go. See, they've already disappeared. And this is the next one is noise reduction. So we'll flip down to there and go over there. That's middle noise reduction. That's high, and that's off. That's the default, off, low, middle. So let's just run it in middle. That's normally where I run most of my stuff anyway. Let's go back. Okay, now let's go to color setting. So we're going to go down one. And this is basically going to adjust your brightness. Now, I really don't have to go through that because everybody knows what that is. So this is your brightness. We're going to arrow over, and we'll go into, there's contrast, saturation, hue, sharpness, and backlight. Now, backlight, what you can do is you can adjust the amount of how bright the screen becomes or how dark the screen becomes. Okay, now the next is color temperature. Now with the color temperature, you can set that one at 56, 65, 93, or you could user set it, and you can adjust your various values here. This puts it into manual, and then what you could do is you could scroll down if you want. Let's go back to user, back to menu, then you would go into red, green, blue, and you would adjust those by just going like this or like this. Okay, so let's escape out of this. Let's go back up to color temperature, and let's put it back to 56K, and let's menu back, and let's go to shortcuts now. Now, the shortcuts you can assign to different keys down here on the bottom, F1, F2, F3. And I'm not going to get into that because that is going to take us a lot of time. But through monkeying around with it, you should be able to figure it out. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so now we have other settings. And we can come over here, go into language. That's pretty self-explanatory. Well, I'll show you just for the heck of it what languages it'll handle. It's got English, it's got Chinese, and English. So I guess it's just English and Chinese. So let's menu back. Let's go down to transparency. Let's menu over. And let's set our transparency levels. There's high. There's off, which means that you can't see through this at all. There's low. There's middle. You can see this keeps changing. There's high. And I'm just going to leave it set for low. Okay, go back. Now we're going to go down to on-screen display duration, and what it'll do is it'll change how long your on-screen display is on. So we'll go over. There's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and off. And what'll happen is if you go into those settings, this will disappear within 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever. This is your volume control. And right now I have it set to 0. The reason being is if I didn't, you'd be hearing everything that's going on outside and you probably wouldn't hear me real well. So I'll just show you. And you'll probably hear outside here in a second. So basically what it does is it goes from 0 to 100%. Okay, so I'm gonna knock it back down. I know this is kind of boring. Ooh. Now, believe it or not, that was a first. That wasn't actually the monitor going down. That was my camera shut down because it got too hot. I've been running it in 4K here for as long as I've been talking, and it just got too hot and it ended up shutting down. So let's get back into doing what we were doing. So I showed you this. Okay, and the rest of this stuff is to just do a reset. And this is to update the firmware. And let's go over back to here. And then we've got an exit. And that gets out of there. And then this is just kind of back to the beginning again. So there you have it. That's how you you do some of the settings on this monitor. It's a little bit later in the evening, and I had promised you people I would do a latency test. So let's just do that real quick. And I'm going to pan the camera back and forth. And you can see and you can judge for yourself. I think it's pretty darn good. Okay, so I had mentioned to you folks before that you can loop through the monitors. And I'm shooting this with the cell phone, as you probably can see. But you'll notice I've got this monitor over here. Is my main monitor, and then this monitor right here is the secondary monitor. It's a little bit brighter because I have it set up for my computer. And let's go to this main camera right here, and let's do a wrap-up. So what do I think? All in all, I really like this little guy. It's a great little monitor. Like I had said before, it's got the loop throughs on it so that you can do the HDMI in and the HDMI out, and you can loop through like I just showed you. It does the same thing with the SDI, which is really, really great. It also displays the audio coming out of your camera so you can see your peaks, which is really nice. I talked about this little switch on the back, which is great because as you can see right now, the little power light isn't on, but once I turn it on, the light comes on, and then what you can do is you can just turn the power on, and there it goes, and the monitor comes up. So all in all, I think it's a great little monitor. The color is really, really nice. It's small, it's compact. It's got the screw mount holes on either side and on the bottom. And all in all, for the price, you can't beat it. So I'm Jeff with AZ Camera Reviews, and we were talking about this Bestview S7 Mark II. Please continue to watch us. Please like us. Please share us. And most of all, please subscribe. Until next time, I'm Jeff, wishing you the best and saying bye-bye.